Hey, I'm your girl, Sierra Diva Dion, and today I am here to tell you that regardless of what life throws your way, we should always keep skanking, keep bubbling straight up on in, or whenever you feel like stopping, and to always follow your dreams, believe in yourself. The third time they say is a charm, and yes, I am here to tell you the third time is a charm for me and my journey leading up to the third time, which is or was a charm. So stay tuned. All right, so I am back to tell you how it all started. It was late in 2017 after my dad passed, and I was living in Jamaica for that period. Yeah, I moved back to Jamaica for about 2 years. I decided I needed to do something to give back to someone or to a worthy cause because at some point in time, someone or some persons gave back to me. So a great idea came into my head. The first idea was to do a book drive for a school, one of the schools in the community. The school of my choice was the Exchange All Age at the time, which is currently the Exchange Primary School. So I was talking to a friend of mine. We actually went to grade school together. Of course, now we're all grown up, mature people, or they call us old people now. Yeah, and he said to me, I know someone who is in charge of the PTA for that particular school. You should reach out to him and maybe you guys can work together. All right, accepted, agreed, made contact with the PTA president at the time, who was Dennis Taylor. Yeah, we met at the school. He showed me around. And after showing me around and I saw all the needs, I went back home and I started thinking, my God, we need more than just a book drive because we needed whiteboards, we needed classroom cupboards, we needed paint, certain areas needed repairs, we needed even chairs and desks for the teachers, we needed fans, among other things. So I put on my thinking cap and I got to work. I was invited to the first PTA meeting at the school, my first PTA meeting. But prior to that, I had started reaching out to different entities, corporate offices, including the banks. And one of the banks I reached out to was the Victoria Mutual Building Society. So on my first PTA meeting that evening, someone from Victoria Mutual showed up with a check in the amount of 20,000 Jamaican dollars for the PTA that was turned over there. And then I was a little disappointed at one point when I was told, we already have our PTA body, we have our treasurers, our secretary, and we also have our PROs, and they're doing this fantabulous job. Okay, anyways, the person I am, I didn't let that bother me. I just shake it off, like Maria Carey says, shake it off. So I shake it off, and I went back home again, went back to trying to find ways that we could, garner up some funds to assist in these different areas. So I went back and I sent out letters to like Juta of Ocho Rios and the banks, NCB, Scotia, Sagicor, Wisynco, Bashco, and things like that. Anywho, they didn't all come back to me at once, so I decided for 2019, Labor Day that year, I would organize a Labor Day project where we would paint and so on and so forth. So, I decided then that I'm going to start buying like rollers, paint brushes, paint tape, etc., and trays, which I did. And at the same time, I was already collecting like clothing, mildly worn, new, whatever you call it, for the less fortunate, shoes, backpacks with school supplies, all of that was being collected, and that was being done in Florida. Of course, I would gather them and ship them. While I was doing that, the PTA mentioned that they needed folding chairs so they didn't have to wait for classes to end in order to have a meeting. So I was reaching out for chairs. We had a company, Blind South of Miami. They donated 10 folding chairs. Yeah, I had to ship them there as well. Gem Palace gave me $10,000 cash in Jamaican dollars, and that was used to purchase 2 standing fans. Those were turned over to the PTA. And of course, I continued to plan, and we got to the day, Labor Day. So here are some pictures and a little bit of narrative from the Labor Day project that we did, and then I'll come back and give you more information as to what happened after Labor Day. This was one of our first projects, Labor Day, May 2019, that kicks off my endeavors to attempt to assist the students and the school in Exchange White River St. Anne. That's our PTA president right there at the time, Mr. Taylor, who was in on it. And this is a parent right here who volunteered. There were a few other parents who were in the background, but at this point it was raining anyways. We continued the job. Follow your dreams, give it your all. I went through the PTA, but we, at the time, the principal, a very wonderful principal, was at the school, Ricardo Moncrief. He would encourage me. We could sit and we could talk about things concerning the school and, what needed to be done. And of course, on the day, which was Labor Day, he was there with us also painting. And you know what? It was raining on that day, and he was out there as if it was nothing at all, in the rain, painting, cleaning up the schoolyard. We were even trying to plant flowers. I think we planted a few back then. And yes, we had quite a few sponsors. We had White Star, or 5-star, not White Star, but 5-star Water Sports, who gave us $10,000 towards purchasing paint. We had Marvet. She has a shop. Well, not a shop, a place where we get things like face basins, plumbing, and so on and so forth. I would call it more like a hardware. It's called Maze Hardware in Otorius on James Avenue. She donated paint as well. Simmons Hardware donated paint. Sherwin Williams donated paint. I donated paint as well. And Deacon Sandra Wholeness of the Exchange Baptist Church sponsored our lunch for that day. We had myself, my sister Maxine, the PTA president. We had a few parents who came out also to participate in this Labor Day project. So let's show some pics of what we're doing. And of course, I will show you who Mr. Ricardo Moncrief is. And then we'll move on from there with additional information and things that were done in between. Here we go right here. This is Mr. Ricardo Moncrief, former principal of the Exchange Primary School, White River St. Anne. Okay, so now we're finished with the Labor Day project, but we have things to do, such as now I'm planning an event because I'm so encouraged by what we did here and by the sponsors who were willing to donate their time, resources, their money to us. So I kept going. I call it begging, but in the proper way. I kept soliciting assistance from different entities. So Juta of Ocho Rios gave us a check in the amount of 10,000 Jamaican dollars. And There are one or two more places who donated money to us. The Seventh day Adventist Church also was one of our sponsors, and not to mention Aero Marine Inc. of Miami, Florida, as well as Rolling Out Inc. They were some of our sponsors. So now I'm planning this really nice event, stage show and all, and gathering the RTs who donated their time really for the event. There wasn't an admission, it was free. So the event was planned for July 19th of 2019, and IRI FM also sponsored a whole week of ads for us. We had the St. Anne Fire Department who came out on the day to do fire safety demonstrations. Manuka Development sponsored a bounce house for the kids. Yeah, we got a huge tarpaulin, and the clothes that were shipped from overseas that were donated for the children, clothing, shoes, etc., book bags with school supplies. The clothing was put on the tarp, and everything else. People could come in and grab what they needed or wanted, and we distributed the backpacks. We did have people who said they were assisting us with lighting and so on, but we ended up having to pay. Anyways, at that time, since it was my first event, I had shipped everything from my tables, my chairs, my tents. I had shipped tents and all the other stuff I had ordered, like my jerk pants. I paid to get them done and so on and so forth. So I had all that. So, but I didn't mind because it's something that I had a passion for, and I was doing this, and I know those things that I had shipped, I would be able to use them over again. So event day was there. It was not well attended or supported. However, from that event, even though I made no money, I turned over $50,000 cash to the PTA along with the 10 chairs, etc. And then I moved on to planning and thinking about something else. I think my next move was care packages, and we'll see those as we go along. And yes, if needed, I will narrate some of those as well. So in between, I kept giving little things to the school. And you'll see also that at one point I was asked to be the MC for the graduation one year, and in appreciation I was given certificates and gift basket. So you will see it all coming up. So this is a journey that is leading up to the third time is a charm. And of course, you'll probably figure out by the time I'm finished why the third time is a charm and what happens when the third time really becomes a charm. The journey continues. So next up, I was able to get sponsors for some care packages. We did about 9 packages. Each package contained at least $5,000 worth of groceries, and I am sure it made someone very, very happy on that day. Along with the care packages, we were able to sponsor at least 6 students registration fee because it was now going back to the beginning of the school term. Registration fee at the time was $1,500 per student. So thanks again to our sponsors who made this possible. And yes, it didn't stop there. We went on further. Kids needed tablets. So our sponsors once again stepped in. We were able to provide, I think it was 6 tablets, yeah, like you see in the notes, for the students who were extremely grateful. These next pictures, I was asked to MC the graduation one year, and to show appreciation, I was given a gift basket and a certificate. Yes. So there you have it, all big smiles. And here coming up, my niece was the guest speaker. Yeah, my niece is a real estate attorney. So we ended up at the same event on the same day. She was also given a gift basket and a certificate. And here we see the vice principal, Miss Tracy. Yeah. always on the move, always doing something. And here we have the chair for the region, Mrs. Giscom. At the time, she was the one who handed me my certificate. I was so happy and grateful for all of that. My next project was to seek assistant more care packages from the NCB Foundation, during the time of COVID. And we were able to assist 10 students. NCB was kind enough to give us $50,000, and each student got $5,000 each. They were asked to do their placards to the foundation. And there was a write up in the papers. Here they are pictured with the PTA president at the time. And I had to post this to big up NCB for their assistant. And you know what? They did it just in the nick of time. We rang in the new year with NCB assisting. NCB Foundation, thanks again. So my efforts weren't really in vain. I started out on the journey and I decided, hey man, come what may, this is something I was led to do. At first, I thought, well, I was just going to do a book club, but the journey continues. All right, so this next event I did in, I think, June. As you see the date. No need to go repeat it. It's on the poster. From this event, we obtained 17 wall fans for the school and were donated by CIBC, First Caribbean Bank in Ocho Rios. Thank you, Miss Lorna Escovery, who ensured that happened for us. The fans were installed successfully at the school, even though I was not there for the handover. Big thank you to then Principal Ricardo Moncrief, who supported, encouraged, assisted in any way he could for me and allowed me to do this project on behalf of his school at the time, the children, and the community. It's our school, our children, our community. Thank you, Mr. Moncrief. I also want to take this time to say thank you to my sponsors. Thank you, special thanks to Maxine Lewis, who's always there with me, hitting the ground running, distributing the letters, rounding up the donations, getting all the printing, all the legwork, all the cooking, anything. She was always there. That's my backbone. Thank you, Lady Irene, for the emotional support. Thank you for being there at all these events. Big thank you to Aero Marine and Rolling Out Inc., the Ocho Rios Baptist Church, Reverend Jonathan Hemmings, Drop the Bass Entertainment Inc., and the Digital Chris Production, the Exchange Baptist Deacon Sandra and Deacon Scott, the Seventh-day Adventist Exchange, Gem Palace, Sister Marlene Coombs of the Exchange Baptist, Asset Security, Jocelyn Hamilton, Corporate Credit Union Ocho Rios, once again, NCB Foundation, community members, my family, my husband especially, and the W Big Station Ministry members, who some of them came all the way from Portland to support me and to assist with the endeavor. My family and I also made significant contributions toward purchasing the risograph copy machine that the school needed so badly. Thank you to all the attendees, anyone who bought a ticket, anyone who said a kind word. Thank you so very much. Thank you to the entertainers who came out and did their part in performing for the event. Yep, after that, the giving continued. Those brown paper bags with the handles and the little stickers. Yeah, I donated 53 of those to the graduating class of 2025. Included was miniature lotion, shower gel, soap, toothpaste, toothbrushes. Those colored packages were donated by someone else. Yeah, but I always feel that giving is a part of what I was put here on earth to do. In between that, I distributed some books, pencils, yeah, call them school supplies, if you will, and of course, my worn, new, used clothing to the I think it's the guidance counselors department who received those, so the children who were in need could benefit from that as well. Of course, they say the third time is a charm. And yeah, there was a third event. I decided to partner with the school's PTA. I know on my side it was a production, and thanks to sponsors such as Cool Jams Radio, Rolling Out Inc., my sister Kathy, people who bought tickets from us, the Exchange Baptist Church. Thanks to them. Thanks to those who came out. Thank you to the entertainers who found it not robbery to come out and perform, regardless there was not 100,000 in the house. Special thank you to Drop the Bass Entertainment and the Big Up Yourself, DigiChris. Blessed Love, DigiChris Productions. If I forget any name, please forgive me. So, for the record and for transparency, I received a total of $1,330 in USD. Ticket sales, 35,000 Jamaican dollars. Of course, the remainder of whatever was outstanding, yeah, I absorbed that in my personal pocket or personal funds. But thanks be to God, I was able to do that. Hopefully, somebody will show up at some point and say, "Hey, here is a little something." We're late, but that's how the cookie crumbles sometimes. So the third time is always a charm. And remember, the road may be rough and the journey is long, but no giving up for this girl, Sarah Dion. Stay tuned, more to come.
Yet they destroy you from behind. Some men that call themselves a king, I think they're going around doing the wrong thing. Easily led with bad influence, yet they got their own mind and own sense. Me say, you can't be a king and you're not royal. You can't be a friend if you're not loyal.
I'm sure some people will want to know, why are you doing this? Why did you choose to do this? Well, you see, when I was growing up, we were financially embarrassed. My family was not able to afford all of these things. And going to school, it does take a village. So we needed everybody to come together. So during that time, we had teachers who assisted me with lunch. I remember in elementary school, for me to move on to high school, the principal had to make arrangements with this gentleman who sold textbooks to make arrangements where my dad would pay a little at a time so I could get the textbooks in order to study and to pass the common entrance to move on to high school. May her soul rest in peace. May his soul rest in peace. May my dad's soul rest in peace. And also when I went to high school, then I had teachers who gave me lunch money. The guidance counselors ensured that I got uniforms. I got shoes from a friend of mine, Venice Bowie, special friend. She also used to take me home with her at some times at lunchtime, so she would share her lunch with me to ensure I wouldn't stay at school hungry. And there was a lady in the tuck shop, I think she has also passed on, may her soul rest in peace, who would give us leftover things so we wouldn't be at school hungry. So if someone was able to help me, it is my turn to assist someone. And of course, there are children who they really want to learn and they really want to go to school, but they do not have the help. They don't have the assistance to do it. And if I could help just one child, that makes me very happy. And I'm sure along the way, I may have assisted someone in some way. But of course, as we go along, we will see. And hopefully, at the end of the day, someone can say, because of your efforts, not just mine, but everyone who was involved, the sponsors, I was able to do X, Y, Z. I want to thank God for giving me the strength to be here because despite the many things that happened along the way, illnesses, surgeries, I still made it. Thank you to all the sponsors, all of you who were on this journey with me. It's kind of bittersweet. The third time is a charm, and also the third time now is where the buck stops. It's much love and blessings to you and to yours. And please don't forget to help someone along the way. Ciao for now.